So this is something you can actually do at home. And I've got my assistant here with me today, Mr. Beard Jr., who's going to help me show you how to do it. So all you need are 3 glasses. They just need to be clear glasses, and they all need to be the same size and the same shape.
You'll need some ice cold water, room temperature water, and you may need to get your parents to help you get the hot water.
Thanks, mate. You'll need a measuring jug, some food colouring, and if your food colouring doesn't come with a dropper like mine hasn't, you'll need a dropper so you can count exactly how many drops you put in each glass. So remember, when we're doing a science experiment, we've got to make sure it's a fair test. And we have our saying, cows moo softly. Do you remember what they stand for?
Yes.
Oh, Winton remembers what they stand for. Let's see if he remembers. Winton, what does cows stand for?
Change one thing.
Good, so we only ever change one thing at a time. What about moo?
Measure or observe.
Well done, measure or observe. And so we're going to, in this particular experiment, we're going to observe what happens. And what about softly? What does it stand for?
Everything else stays the same.
Well done. So everything else needs to stay exactly the same. So you'll notice I've got 3 glasses that are all exactly the same. We're going to measure out 350 mils of water to go in each one. So they're all going to have the exact same quantity of water in them. We're going to put 4 drops of food colouring in each one. But the one thing that changes will be the temperature of our water. Okay, so I've just placed a piece of white paper behind the glasses so you can see exactly what happens. I'm going to pour in, I'll start my room temperature water. So as I said earlier, I'm using 350 mils of water in each glass, but you don't have to. You can use 100 mils, 200 mils, depending on the size of your glasses, as long as each glass has the exact same amount in it. It's 350 ml of room temperature water. Now, if you like, you can take the temperature of your water. I've got a digital thermometer, and I've also got these thermometers here that I'll be using. You don't have to take the temperature. That's something we're going to be moving towards, but just for interest's sake, I thought I would take the temperature of each of these glasses of water. So our room temperature one is approximately 26 degrees. I'll follow that with our ice cold water. Again, measuring up to 350 mils to ensure that I am doing a fair test. So my ice cold water, I'm just going to move my digital thermometer across. Wasn't in the fridge for as long as I would have liked it to have been, but it will be quite a bit colder than my room temperature. And finally, the hot water. Make sure you get an adult to help you with the hot water. So this is just freshly boiled. Again, 350 ml. Bit of steam coming off this one. So my ice cold water is down to about 10 degrees. Now I think in my original video I said I was going to drop in 5 drops of food colouring, but 3 is more than enough. So I'm going to start with the cold water. Three drops. 2, 3. 3 drops into my room temperature water. And then 3 drops into my hot water, which is about 70 degrees. Three drops. And now we observe. Unfortunately, the condensation on the outside of the ice cold water makes it a little bit harder to see. So the condensation on the really cold glass made it a little bit harder to see. But what you definitely would have noticed is that when we dropped the food colouring into the hot water, it mixed through that water a lot faster than it did the room temperature or the cold water, the waters that were cooler than it. Now, I didn't stir it, I didn't mix it. The only thing mixing that food colouring around the water was the movement of the molecules within that water. Let me know if you tried it at home. I would love to see it. In your handouts, in your little booklets, sorry, I should have had it open to the right page. If you could illustrate to me what you saw. We're just looking at hot water, room temperature water, cold water. We will get into specifics about what temperature things are later on. Draw what happened. See if you can explain to me in words what happened. If you did it, see if you can explain to me why it happened. And then down the bottom, I really want you to explain to me how this was a fair test. Okay, enjoy. Next video, we'll be looking at our friction experiments. Hope you're enjoying your home-based learning, and I'll speak to you soon. See ya.